Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Discover New Music podcast from us at Full Pelt Music. I'm delighted that in a moment I'm going to get to chat with Seven Blood because I absolutely loved their debut album, Life is Just a Phase, that came out recently. If you haven't done so already, make sure you check that out. While you're online, do follow Full Pelt on social media. We're on Facebook at Full Pelt and on Twitter and Instagram at Full Pelt Music. And again, if you would, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, whatever you're watching. But that's enough of that. It's time to get on with the podcast. So let's go. Well, absolutely delighted to welcome Seven Blood. We've got Josi and Ollie from the band onto the Discover New Music podcast. Absolutely delighted to have you on, as I say. How are you both doing this evening?
Really good. Thank you so much for having us on this podcast.
Yeah, well, it's an exciting time to be able to talk to you because you've just released your debut album, Life is Just a Phase, which I've absolutely loved listening to over the last couple of weeks since it came out. So we've got some good stuff to talk about.
Okay,
But
thank
before we
you.
get into the album, it's the Discover New Music podcast. And we always start off with the same feature. It's, hopefully there'll be some people discovering some new music. You know, it's the whole idea behind the
That's the idea.
podcast.
Yeah, okay.
So, as way of an icebreaker, just for people that might not be familiar with the band, we start off with something called the origin story. Um,
Okay.
Very simple question to introduce everyone. What is the origin story for Seven Blood? How did you all come together?
I mean, we all came together in a moment where I just was not at the best point of my life, and actually I met Azaria already, I think from now on 6 years ago, because I always wanted to do music with a female voice. And Anfi and me, we played in a different band. We played for many years in a punk band, and we thought it's just time doing something else. And I think 6 years ago, a friend of mine told me, Azaria, she's a great singer and a great person. I should just try to do music with her. And we spoke for a first time 6 years ago, and then I don't know what happened. I mean, time ran fast, and the pandemic was there, and so immediately 5 years went on, and I just thought, oh shit, can I come back to her and ask her after 4 years? And so I think in 2023, I asked Azaria again if she's still open for a band project or do music, and luckily she was. And we just met both in a bar and just had a beer and talked about music for hours and what kind of music we like and stuff like that. But I think at that moment we just decided to try something. And the next moment was we decided to do a kind of a writing session, just trying to experiment if we can do songwriting actually. And it was pretty new to us, and it's pretty I mean, you're always pretty vulnerable when you're writing songs. And so it was kind of a blind date situation, because I just told her I'd like to have Anfi with us because he's an excellent drummer and producer and great guy. And she was fine with that. So we met as a three-piece at the beginning in a studio in Berlin. And so in this very blind date situation, I asked her if it's, how she is. And she immediately started crying because something shitty happened to her. And it was really a weird first meeting and a weird first session. And in the end, it was an awesome day. We wrote one song in 2 hours. We just decided what kind of music we want to do, and things came together pretty quickly and pretty intuitive. And so that's how we came together, and we did that again for many sessions and really enjoyed writing together. And then we had the idea just trying to be looking for another person, and then we looked out for a bass or guitar player. To be honest, it didn't matter. and we asked many people, and that's how we found Josie, because there weren't too many, and she entered the room, and everyone was pretty, yeah, she's in, she's a great person. We want to be in the same room with her, and it's great to be with her, and it's fun. And it was early 2024 when we just came together as a four-piece, and from then on we just started shooting videos, doing music together, and then we just got the offer in May, just opening for Under Oath, and that all started this journey. I mean, we played our very first show in June 24, and from then on, this crazy ride just began.
Yeah, and I love the blind date analogy for a start. I've not really heard that one before, but it yeah fits really well, doesn't it? And yeah, I mean, what an introduction, to play some of your first shows with Under Oath, getting that offer, and obviously everything that's come from that now, leading us to obviously the debut album. You say that is just the start. I feel there's so much to come from this band, Seven Blood,
Mm-hmm.
from what has come so far. It is like just that's an incredible sign for what is to come. Because I will plug the album throughout this podcast because I have heard a lot of the pre-release singles coming out. We put them on our playlist, and I was like, yes, this is a band
Oh,
I want to pay
really?
some
Oh, that's so
attention
great to
to.
hear. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Loved like the singles, and then the album as a whole. Getting to listen to that is that overall sort of masterpiece of a record, I'd say.
Thank
Just
you.
really, really
Yeah, same
enjoyed it.
here.
So, I mean, one of the first songs that we picked up on, or a song that obviously was a pre-release single at least, is "To the Unknown." So I just want to ask you around that track. Mainly, you've already touched on music videos, which is a great sign because I'm a music video geek, and we're
Hmm.
going to get into the music video in a second. But to lead listeners into that music video, just around the song itself, what can you tell us about "To the Unknown"? What is the song about? How did it come together for you?
I mean, the song is about actually drowning in a metaphoric sense, and I think everyone can relate to that, just being pretty lost. And we love the picture of just floating on the dark sea, midnight, nothing over you, nothing really under you, and I think it's a pretty strong picture for what, yeah, many people know as a situation. And there was a reason why we just wanted to keep this picture in, or try to get this picture into a movie. And so we asked Michi Winkler, who's a close friend to us, and he did our first four videos, and he's just a fantastic film guy, and together with his wife Flora. And he also liked the idea of just doing something underwater. And we had the opportunity just renting a pool in Berlin. And yeah, from then on, we just spent many hours under the water in a pool in Berlin. And so we shot this video, and Azaria had to sing underwater. And I think after singing underwater for about 4 or 5 hours, she was already pretty exhausted. But then we started shooting the band scenes for another 4 or 5 hours. So it was a pretty tough day for her, I think.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely love the outcome of that. We've had a few videos we've featured on the podcast that have included like the underwater scene. It's a classic one, but it's not done very often because it is really difficult to do right. And like you say, Azaria, credit, because I mean, the first thing that always strikes me with those scenes is just like, wow, it makes me feel cold. It must be so cold. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know
It's
what the experience was
freezing.
like. Yeah, yeah. So obviously, yeah, we love music videos, like I say. It's a bit of a dying art, really. Not many people that sort of put the effort into them these days. So I always appreciate a really good music video. And listeners, there will be a link in the bio for you to click on and go and watch this video so you can understand what we're talking about, because
Yeah.
definitely needs that. I mean, how important you talked, when you were writing the song, you already had that concept, that idea that you wanted the video to obviously have that kind of drowning aesthetic along with it. How important are videos to Seven Blood?
In general, they are pretty important because we grew up with music videos, and I think of course, I think there's a good reason you call it a dying art, but on the other hand, I mean, every band still does it, so it's a weird situation, to be honest. I mean, it's not that time like in the 90s or like in the 2000s where everyone just shot damn expensive videos that looked awesome and it was just on MTV, etc. But it's still there I think for the reason because people enjoy watching videos, and for bands sometimes it's not easy because you don't have these big budgets anymore. But on the other hand, it's maybe not that expensive to get a good video anymore. So yeah, times have changed a bit, and it's really interesting to see that people are still honoring and appreciating music videos. And yeah, me too. I mean, I just like seeing a band, just checking out what this band is, what's special on them. And I think the best way to see it is not only listening to the music, but also just watching the video.
I agree 100% with that. Again, like growing up with music videos, I always felt I could understand a band more from watching the video. I mean, obviously, you're going to get a sense of what they're about from the music, from the lyrics, but the video element just adds a whole another layer to that relationship that you can build with a band. And absolutely agree as well in the sense of, a lot of bands, the reason why maybe videos don't get the attention is because obviously the money's not really there to make
Yeah.
them. But I do think Two Down Those is another great example of what can be done without needing to probably spend an awful lot of money. There's always going to be expense hiring the pool or
Yeah.
the videographer and the director or whatever. But I've featured some great videos on this podcast where actually some of them have been made pretty much for free and they still come across really really well.
Mhm.
And I just think some bands out there need to pay attention to that because it does add this extra avenue for bands to pursue and obviously get their art seen. And it
Yeah.
is an art form all by itself. I love, again, To the Unknowns video, the fact that it links in, ties into the theme of the track. That's
Mhm.
always just a big one for me when I'm looking at music videos. So, yeah, excellent work on the video, got to be said. And again, excellent work on the album. So, Life is Just a Phase has been out now for a couple of weeks. Debut album for the band. I'm assuming, obviously, that just feels like such an incredible milestone for you.
It is. I mean, it's not that different compared to the months before because, I mean, for us, it's just like a start of a journey. It's not like the end of something. It's just like, okay, now it's out and it's great and we're super happy about it. And we're already thinking about writing new material and doing new things because just for us, this journey really started. And it's great to be a band with an album.
And it's a really emotionally charged album. There's some real sort of personal themes and lyrics involved across the records. What was it like for you as a group putting that together, given sort of the personal aspects of it?
Yeah, I mean, we call our songwriting sessions like of the group therapy because we're really talking about things for hours sometimes before we start writing the first lyric word on the paper or on the MacBook, of course. But yeah, I mean, we just realized that, I mean, we all have different backgrounds in the band, but we share the same aspects of life. And a lot of stories we experienced have different stories in detail, but it's the same emotion and the same kind of the same situation we experienced. And So this is the reason why we just talk about things for many hours, and we just say, okay, let's write a song about it. It's really good, and it's like House Not Home. I mean, we talked about it, and we experienced this topic in different lives, and it's really great to see that in the final lyric, many people can relate to it, and just come to us at the show, at the merch stand, and just say hi. And there was just somebody in the summer in Berlin just say, it's my story. How can this be my story? And I just said, I mean, to be honest, it's also our story, and we just wrote this. So, but it's really great to hear that people can relate so close to this.
Yeah, relatability in music is such a special thing, and it must feel like you've touched on there, just really special when you can see, you've put this music out and it tells the story of yourselves as the songwriters behind it, but obviously how people can then look at that and go, actually, I'm applying my story to that song, and that means so much to me. I mean, it must be a special feeling when you get that feedback from fans.
Uh, to be
It's
honest, yeah, Josie.
it's really often that time that people come to us and really say, I can relate with these lyrics, or they write us messages and tell us whole stories about their lives,
Mm.
and just they want to let us know because they feel like we can also understand because you wrote the lyrics, so something like that.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's really much more worth than just streaming numbers or sales numbers or whatever. I mean, just talking to the people and just getting the impression that they can just connect to something you wrote is just really crazy and really great. It's the best, actually.
It is the best. I mean, I love a wide range of different art forms, but I just feel music and the connection that I
Hmm.
feel with music, and obviously listen to songs such as those that feature on this album, that can make you feel feelings that, I think a lot of other media formats just
Hmm.
can't. Music is special. And obviously, yeah, absolutely. Love the album, as I've touched on. Yeah, I said I will mention that quite a few times, and listeners listening to us do need to go away and check that album out. Absolutely do. Um, be that on record or indeed live. So you've obviously been playing some live shows and getting to play these tracks live.
Hmm.
You've just done a run of dates with another band that I love, As Everything Unfolds. How were those shows, and how in particular did you feel that these songs went down with the audience?
We love them and the show, of course.
Super nice
And
people.
so lovely. It was really, really a pleasure to meet them, and felt like we knew each other for longer than only for this tour.
Yeah, yeah, we clicked pretty quickly, and so it was really. I mean, it was only 4 shows, but these shows were pretty good and really great to be together with these guys. And yeah, I mean, we had one night at a hotel bar that probably helped a lot. But uh, yeah, super sweet people, and yeah, I
Maybe
think
they will come to our show when we're in London in January.
yeah.
Yeah, well, everyone needs to come to that show. So you have got, and we are going to talk about it next. Obviously, this co-headline tour coming up with Listel, who we had on this podcast not too long ago.
Okay.
So another band that are just absolutely phenomenal at what they do. So for me, seeing that as a co-headline tour, I'm like, wow, that is going to be a great night. And obviously, for us in the UK, like one of the opportunities here to go and hear these songs from this album, as I think all music is intended, live. So, are you obviously, probably a silly question, but are you excited to obviously get out and play those shows with Listel? And in particular, obviously, the show in London, what does that show mean to you?
I mean, we are definitely. It's for us. It's a big step doing these first co-headline shows. I mean, we had the honor playing 2 great big European tours with Future Palace and Anchor and Conquer Divide, and some big festivals in summer. But this step is really, yeah, just going your own path, and it's really yeah, exciting. And we didn't meet each other so far, but they're super nice in the conversation, and yeah, we already had two fantastic shows in London. So I mean, this was definitely one reason why we just chose to play London, and so I'm really excited playing that show.
Me too.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Listeners, there will be links in the bio. Go and pick up a ticket and head along to the show. I absolutely encourage you for both for Seven Blood and Estelle. It's going to be an incredible show. And obviously, I think you're a band that the UK audience will really embrace. Mu musically, I think you'll fit in really well with what we in the UK love music wise. And I think thinking about festivals, next, like coming up obviously in the summer. I mean, is there an aim for you to come across and play festivals? I mean, obviously I'm thinking, Download would be a dream. That's the one everyone wants to play. But I mean, something like 2000 Trees, I think you would absolutely be welcomed with warm, welcome, arms at somewhere like 2000 Trees. Is there an ambition to be able to come and do that?
I mean, Paul, feel free just to recommend us to the festival promoters. But uh, we already have some confirmed festivals next year, but not in the UK as far as I know. And we have some confirmed festivals in Slovenia, Germany, and I think it's Sweden and Switzerland, but not in the UK so far. But I mean, we're super open, and of course, Download is a big dream of every band playing it, as well as 2000 Trees. And what else? There's Slam Dunk, and you have
Yeah.
Leeds Reading, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
they've just announced their
we're
lineup, and I'm not sure they're paying much attention to rock music anymore, unfortunately, with their lineup announcement they've just done. But
okay. Who is it?
um, you know what? I'm getting to the age where and I have a podcast called Discover New Music, so I like to
Hmm.
think that I've got my finger on the pulse, and I don't want to sound like that typical old guy shouting at a cloud, going, "I don't know who these people are." But beyond the sort of top row of headliners, underneath that, I was genuinely looking at it going, I'm a bit, this is not my scene. I don't understand what I'm looking at here. So
Okay.
couldn't really name too many. Fontaines DC, Florence and the Machine are fantastic. They're the two that I was looking at. I think
Hmm.
there's a couple of great bands there, but yeah, 2000 Trees is looking spectacular this year. So I think yeah, definitely James the Booker there needs to jump on Seven Blood and get you guys playing there because I think that'd go down really
Maybe
well.
we see you
Would be
there in the
awesome.
future.
Yeah, we'd love
Yeah,
to.
no, absolutely. And obviously, getting out and playing these shows, playing these songs live is such a special thing. We finish this podcast always with the same segment, the same as we start with the origin story. We always finish with something called setlist science because it follows on a little bit of live discussion. So I'm a setlist geek as well as a video geek. I pay attention to what bands are playing, the order they're playing it in, how they're structuring their set lists. The question is really simple. How much importance do you place into the structure of your set lists, and have you got any rules that you tend to follow?
Yeah, it's super important. I think have a kind of a good story within your set list is so important to the people. I mean, we always say just give 80% at the beginning just to land on 100% at the end. I think this is really important because you need this kind of headroom. I mean, you have to kick the people from the beginning on, but not too hard. And then you just, in my opinion, you just should try to avoid playing these plus minus game, just being fast, being slow, being fast, being slow, just having kind of two or three songs that are just mellow, and then just to increase the speed again. Yeah, I think things like that. I mean, over the Anchor tour and over the summer shows, we try to improve our set, and we always integrated the new songs we released into our set, so it was always growing, and we exchanged the positions of the songs because, yeah, I think it's really important to get a good storyline in your set.
I mean, I love that you call it a storyline. That is exactly what I want from a set as well. So I think it's fantastic. Obviously, you go in there for an overarching experience. You're not for me, I'm not just going because I want to hear one or two songs. I want to see the whole package that this band is offering. So obviously getting that package right and delivering it in a way that he, as you say, ends on like 100% is fantastic. And again, a tick for me would be the fact that you've seen that set evolve over time. So obviously you're sort of learning from the experiences, a bit of trial and error to understand what works, what doesn't work, which I think is always a fantastic sign as well. So, with that, I would say you've definitely sort of passed my benchmark for that question, and I can see that you're, giving them good attention. So
I hope you can fulfill your expectation in January.
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure you will. Definitely. So I mean, it's been absolutely amazing chatting with you. Listeners, again, my plugs here are, check out the video To the Unknown. It's a fantastic video. The album as a whole, you got to sit down and listen to it as a complete album. Get to the shows like the band are playing, whether you're in the UK or you listen from within Europe, or get to one of the shows, especially those co-headline shows with Castell. They're going to be amazing. Follow the band again is another one for me. Social media is the way we stay up to date with everyone. So listeners, it's We Are Seven Blood on Instagram and Seven Blood Official on Facebook. So get yourself following the band to stay up to date with everything coming from them. That is my final message, but I always like to leave the final message with the guests. So what would be your final message for the listeners today?
I'd say just life's just a phase. Keep that always in mind, in good as in bad times.
That's it.
Yeah, absolutely true. Absolutely true. Well, Josie, Ollie, thank you so much for giving me your time and talking on the podcast. It's been an absolute pleasure
Thank
having
you.
you on.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having us.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. I really do hope you enjoyed that chat there with Seven Blood. Do make sure you check out their debut album, Life is Just a Phase, which is out now. And of course, follow the band on social media to stay up to date with everything coming from them. You can also stay up to date with Full Pelt. We're on Facebook at Full Pelt and on Twitter and Instagram at Full Pelt Music. Finally, from me, if you would, please do hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, wherever you're watching or listening, because we'll be back very soon with another episode of the Discover New Music podcast.